Paul's talking in our primary text today about the process of being perfected. He talks about the fact that it is not a pleasant process. It is not a fun process. There are times when it hurts. There are times when we are offended. There are times when our feelings get stomped on a little bit. But it's not about the moment. It is about the future. What are you going to be? Are you going to be somebody who's worth something in this world? Are you going to be somebody who's able to achieve and accomplish and succeed and excel? Because any good father knows if you're going to be that, he's going to have to work with you. You don't come out of the box like that. No baby comes out of the womb ready to live an adult life. No. A child has to be raised. They have to be reared. They have to be taught. They have to be imparted with values. I'm going to tell you something. My parents, I grew up in a very abusive, very dysfunctional home. I did. It was not a pleasant place at all. But for all the dysfunction, for all the screwed up stuff that went on in our house, I still wound up being imparted with some values that were worthwhile. I'm going to tell you something, child of God. Even in hard places, you know, my aunt told me many years ago, she said, Chuck, I know that your growing up was rough. I know it was. She said, I was an observer. I saw it. I know what you went through. She said, but you know what? She said, I think that God allowed you to go through all that so that you could do what you're doing now. She said, because you're working with hurt people. You're working with people who have been abused. You're working with people who have been rejected. You're working with people who have been neglected. You're working with people who have gone through hardships and struggles. She said, and man, you're not one of them preachers come out of the ivory tower who's always had, you know, a silver spoon in his mouth and $1 in his pocket. She said, no, you're coming out of somebody that has endured the battle. She said, and you're able to exercise such great compassion. You're able to exercise such great empathy because of where you've been. She said, so even though you wouldn't wish what you grew up with on a dog, she said, the truth of the matter is, it made you who you are. It made it possible for you to do what you do. Looked up toward heaven and I said, thank you, Jesus. It's good to know that there's purpose in our struggle.